We've seen a lot of times it's been banned out in various matchups.
But this is actually not... I mean, it's an okay Brood game, but it's not like an amazing one. Like Darkseer, if they want to rotate their lanes, they would have to do something like Juggernaut, Winter Wyvern, and then have the Darkseer bottom, because it's support Spirit Breaker, right? I don't know, this is a little bit weird from Complexity. I want to see how they run their lanes.
It's going to be interesting. They might even run it like we saw them in the first game with the Undying. They kind of have Moomiand and Z-Freak opting to kind of stick together on the lane.
Yeah.
Working as a team.
I think they would probably, if they were going to do that, do they go top? Or do they actually go up against the Brood? Because I think Winter Wyvern is terrible against Brood in lane. And Juggernaut's okay. But the problem is you have to use like almost all of your mana to spin just to kill spiders. And if they run away and you don't kill them, then you just don't have a spin, right? So Juggernaut's kind of like a 50-50 against that hero, I feel. Maybe they just put... No, I think they actually have to leave one hero off lane and have everyone bottom, just to keep the Brood down.
Okay, well, we'll see how it pans out here with this Jug. First Jug that we've seen in this TI5 group stages so far. We've seen it banned out a fair few times, especially against NaVi. A fair few teams worried about Havorst picking up the Juggernaut, but of course Havorst on his gyro, he's going to feel very, very comfortable on this hero. We know what he can do on it, and we know that the, as we keep saying, the stats don't lie for the group stages so far. Over a 90% win rate with this hero. Let's see if Complexity can fight against that. And obviously, first game of this series did go to Complexity, and with some pretty impressive performances from the team as a whole. So let's see if they can do it again here in Game 2 up against NaVi. Snako just coming up here, scouting out at what's going on from the side of Complexity. Lanes aren't becoming too clear yet. We do know that Havorst is going to be in that safe lane. And Snako, yeah, just eyeing it all up. Nothing going to kick off as of yet. Funning has come down to this bottom lane. And it looks like Complexity will simply secure themselves the bottom rune. NaVi looking to get that top rune here for Dendy to help him on his way to the bottom. Both of the heroes, of course, Noltally has been picked up by Dendy, and we've got the Wraith Band on Shadowfiend to help them out in this mid lane matchup. Snako, we can see if we can look for a steal. He's not going to get it though. Shadowfiend able to take himself the bounty rune, and Dendy getting himself the top one. Snako just trying to put down a little bit of harassment here onto Swindle. I mean, it's
that's really annoying.
Nice, yeah. I mean, it's a third of his health gone.
The thing is, he only has 2 pull tangos, and those things have a 60-second cooldown. So if he keeps doing it, it's just a huge nuisance, right? Like now he's a half HP, which means Dendy can just walk at him and punch him. Like Dendy's got his salve out. I'm sure Melons will be sending his out as well, but he's going to have somebody deliver it to him because the bounty is going to be camping the courier, and Complexity are going to be aware of that. They've also sentryed mid already. And we are going to see that matchup that I was thinking is they don't actually want to put the safe lane hero in the safe lane because Brood is just way too annoying.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got the matchup that they wanted in both lanes as well. And here we go on to Arstar with the spin and the slow here from Winter Wyvern. This could be your first bloody. We'll get the brain stack on, but I don't know, one more right click will do it, and they're going to get it. That's your first blood there. Havorst getting low. He's also getting charged as well here. Z-Freak coming in across the map. This could be a second kill. Havorst needs to be careful. ZZ has clarity and South back up. And here we go with the charge onto Havorst, the body block as well. He's trying to do what he can here with the rocket barrage. It's not going to be enough, and that's going to be a second kill here for Complexity in the top lane. Arstar coming back, but just a little bit too late, unfortunately, here for Havorst. And Complexity off to a lightning start.
Well, this is what we said during the draft, right? They need to make something else happen to make it so that even if Swindle is getting camped by the bounty, which at the moment he is, and they both tango the sentry wards. I think that's the second time that's actually happened. But they need to do something to address this issue. So if you just let your SF get bullied, and you're not getting something elsewhere, and you're up against a Brood, you're probably just losing your laning phase. But Complexity, they realize this, they make something happen in top lane, they can just go for kills non-stop, I feel. Like if Arctic Burn is up and they have a charge with spin, I don't think they can live through that.
And it's certainly pretty damn terrifying.
Snako, courier.
Where's he going to get? Oh, that's not got the bottom line, has it? Oh, it's just tangos. It is just a set of tango. It could have been worse, but other than that, very nice here for Snako. They're going to have to send someone else out to get that bottle delivered to Swindle Melons. Snako there with the sneaky plays.
Yeah, that was really nice. Going back around is something that not a lot of bounty hunters do. Like once they see the first like bottle delivery, they're like, I'm not going to go for that, you know. I'm just going to chill back. But I guess Swindle doesn't even have enough for his bottle yet, so it doesn't even matter.
Still a good 200 away from it. So Winter Wyvern Fly has come around to the mid lane to provide Swindle with a little bit of support. Saneko grabs himself an a double damage rune, and it's going to head down to this bottom lane. Maybe they can look to burst Moon down. He should be able to get the opportunities to surge himself away. It is just a level 1 bounty. Let's see what they can do here. Moon needs to get himself out of this one. There we go. Will be able to get himself away for the time being. Has the salve as well. He's going to be A-OK. Towards the mid lane though, at the same time, Z-Freak coming in with a charge.
He's actually charging.
He's charging straight for bottom. Okay.
Bottom.
Okay, and he's going to cancel it as well. Doesn't want to run past Dendy here. ZZ is now on his own, and Artstyle and Horse, they know it. They're going to move in. He has got a Nightmare available, but it's going to be a hard kill to get, especially when he does have that mana for Blade Fury.
It's interesting the way this has worked out, because at first I thought, you know, Complexity, they just sit top, they pressure, they make sure the gyro gets farmed, but maybe there's just too much pressure going on in mid and bottom for them to just be able to sit there. And every time those supports rotate, that just means that Ziz is not farming, where Havos, he's starting to recover a bit from the early game that he had. He did die that one time. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more movement here in this early game from both teams.
And Moon's lane is going very nicely for it. I guess as expected, 24 for 2 thanks to those Iron Shells. Only 8 CS for Funnick. He is still, of course, finding the levels, but nonetheless, the Darkseer matchup working very much in the favor of Complexity.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Funnick has kind of just been pretty lax about controlling his spiders. I think he's fed Moon at least like 5 to 10. And that's pretty uncommon, right? Like, Brood players, they typically just don't run him in. They keep him out and they go farm the jungle with him or something like that once you get to like level 5, I think it is. But top lane.
Here we go, they might try and go for it. He has got a Blade Fury available. Looks like this time the burn is just for a bit of harassment. They're not going to look for a kill as of yet. They don't have Z-Freak up there. He's still just hanging towards the mid lane, looking for a potential charge. So Nako's going to come back in to try and harass this Swindle Melons SF, but I've got to be honest, the SF so far in the middle lane has been having a grand old time. 22 for the free against 27-11. I mean, Dendy's still with the lead, but definitely hasn't been crushed by this bounty hunter.
Yeah, it's because Saneko has spent a lot of time moving. Like, he goes bottom to force a Darkseer back to give Funnick a little bit of an easier time. And then I think he also was just going for the courier instead of trying to harass directly, so. I like that observer, by the way, the can't block observer. So he's not going to be able... He doesn't even have to stand there, actually, because that I'm pretty sure that blocks the camp.
Top lane, they're going to go in here with the slows onto both, but now the Blade Fury, the charge onto her boss, getting low, and he will drop. That's going to be the Gyrocopter going down. They're going to look for more here. They've got 3 heroes here. They're ready to dive. They're ready to charge straight for this guy. He's going to look for the TP. Will he be able to get himself out? Oh, yes, he will. Only just, but Artstyle will escape ZZ. He does have to TP himself out as well to make sure that he can get himself out without dying to the tower. But nonetheless, they get the kill that they wanted. Then they do take her Vorce down for the second time, 5.5 minutes in.
I feel that's the best game plan. Like, don't try to move around too much. Just sit in the lane and pressure the gyro. Like, they've been moving a lot, and I feel like every time Z-Freak charges anywhere, and it's not top, it doesn't really do anything. Like, before he tried to charge the Bounty Hunter bottom, he had to cancel it. He hasn't really charged mid, but, I mean, charging mid could have worked before Dendy hit 6, but now the fact that he has that ball lightning, it's a lot less likely to work. So just keep pressuring that top lane. I mean, what is Havos going to do? He gets charged, and then he gets spun on with Arctic Burn. Like, the damage output from that alone, like, you can't fight it.
Carnady is proving to be a very strong combo of heroes down the top lane. Charge from Z-Freak, heading down. He's going to cancel that one. There's a fair few heroes here. 4 of the members of NaVi hanging around this bottom portion of the river. Horse trying to make the pause, trying to catch himself back up in terms of CS. 20 for 5 at the moment. We'll see what he's able to do with that one. Saneko still just scouting out the jungle camps. Mid lane seems to be the target. There's going to be a TP coming in from Fly, though. And even with both Artstyle and Saneko here, I don't think they're going to be able to do anything about this. If Z-Freak gets vision, he might just look for a charge. Now, Swindle Melons are going to back off. And so's Fly. Not going to look for anything more here. Moon having a grand old time. Hitting level 8 now with the Soul Ring, the headdress. It's gotten absolutely fantastic for him 7 minutes in.
He's loaded. He's gotten fed a lot of spiders. There's no other reason to have this bloated of a CS.
Or with the dust, they might go for Funnick with the charge the wall as well. Funnick's in a lot of trouble. They'll be able to kill the Brood Mother. No, the Nightmare just in time. It's not going to be enough to save him, though, as they kill Brood. Dendy coming in now, trying to turn this one around. But look at the Ice Shot. Saneko needs to be careful, needs to get himself out. Moon, he's going to be able to surge himself away. The Brain Sap, not enough. The Darkseer is going to be okay. Z-Freak as well will live. And again, Complexity killing the Broodmother, a massive kill for them, and not losing anything, forcing out a rotation from Dendy.
I'm really surprised this matchup is going so badly. I mean, yeah, Darkseer is a very hard hero to deal with in middle lane. Arstyle could be dead too.
Indeed, with the razors and the punches, that's going to be a 5th kill for Complexity. These guys, 7, they are absolutely destroying NaVi in this early game.
I mean, they're going to be relying heavily on Dendi now. The fact that he is the only person on the team really who's that could have been early game.
This might be them getting on the scoreboard, and it will be indeed. They're able to find the kill onto Zefreak, taking down the Spirit Breaker. But still, the lead very much in favor of Complexity.
Dire's structures are
well, at least they get something going now. I mean, killing that hero, helping out the Brood in the early game is actually pretty nice, because once the Brood stays ahead, you can just leave her alone for the rest of the game, and she'll continually apply that pressure. And Dendi, he really is trying to focus on this now. He realizes that Moon almost has mech already, and if that comes out, I think killing him is actually going to be, like, crazy difficult. I mean, you're going to have to bring the gyro down there as well, I think, if you want to kill Moon once that mech is completed. And Zefreak is going to cancel his charge here. He was going in, but just decides against it. The one cool thing that NaVi have done for themselves in the early game is that ward that blocked the large camp basically prevented them from like stacking, what, 5 or 6 times, I think it is, something like that, just to make sure that Swin will get some farm, but instead he's not going to have the opportunity. And Zefreak, he's letting this one go.
He is charging straight through onto Dendi. He's going to cancel it this time, though. At the same time, Juggernaut was able to find a kill onto Bane there with the Omni Slash. Sneko coming in with the slashes. Zizi is going to be okay, so that's a solo pick-off there for Zizi. And now sitting at 3 kills and 1 assist on your Juggernaut. 9 minutes in. Let's have a look at the net worth, how we're looking. At the moment, it's still Dendi at the top of the board, but then it is the 3 members of Complexity.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
It's still going to be a little while, I think, before Funix starts having a real impact here. Like, he's still being pressured very hard by Moon. Like, every single time he shows in lane, like, there's a couple of spiders that he ends up feeding away, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but over time, it's a really, really big difference in terms of how much gold you actually get, and that's also why Moon is almost level 9 already. Like, he's more than half a level ahead of the Brood, and that's even with him being able to get a kill on the Spear Breaker earlier because of Dendi. So now, rotation coming in bottom.
They've got the sentry down, that's going to give Zefreak the vision to charge into Funix, but Dendi and Sneko are here. They want to kill the Space Cow, and they're going to get away with it there. Bounty Hunter getting the final touch onto Zefreak. And NaVi now getting themselves back on 2 kills now on the board for the Dire.
Every single one of those kills is so crucial. They need to regain their foothold in this game. Thankfully now Funix, he's got his Midas. 10 minutes is maybe a tiny bit late, but I don't think he's going to fuss about it too much. I think he did die once, yeah. But things kind of very lane-centric this game. It's just like everyone's going to the same place over and over again, you know? Like top lane, Complexity, they've pretty much been sitting here. Bottom lane, they keep going back and trying to kill the Brood, or kill the Darkseer, or kill the Spear Breaker, because they've just been kind of sitting there. Not a lot of rotation from anyone really but Dendi and Sneko. Those are the only 2 guys who you've really seen move around.
Seeing Swindlemelons, he's gone up to the top now to help out Zizi here with the push. And they will be able to take themselves this tier 1. At the same time, worth noting, Moon does have the completed mechanism here 10 minutes into the game, so a very respectable timing. Sneko coming out here into the Dire jungle. He is on his own though, because we've got 2 members of the side of NaVi towards the middle. Funix down towards the bottom.
Dire's top
Sneko
tower
did just
is
get
under attack.
a little bit of intel here for the side. I don't know if NaVi can do anything about this. They're actually backing up Dendi and Artstar, not wanting to get caught out by this rotation. Zizi has got Omni Slash available. But Sneko, they know it. And NaVi going to go for this. Artstar getting a little bit too close. Will use the Nightmare to buy him some time, but with the Blade Fury, Zizi's bringing him low. There's going to be Swindlemelons here. Caught out, though, as her Force and Sneko come in. They'll take down the Shadow Fiend. They did manage to find the kill onto the Bane, and now with the Omni Slash, they're able to find Dendi as well, making it a 2 for 2, because at the same time, Force did kill the Winter Wyvern as well. So it's a 2 for 2 there between the 2 sides. The mid and support falling for both. So fairly even. If we have a look at the fight recap, it does slightly favour NaVi though in terms of gold at least, because they were able to kill Swindlemelons, who was having a pretty good time so far. Happy involved in 4 kills. That's the first time SF's died this game.
Yeah, the kills traded, it was still pretty much even in my opinion. The one thing though that we always have to keep in mind is the Funix Brood bottom lane. Like, he's been left alone now. He's going to require Complexity to rotate on him constantly. The one thing that they do have though to deal with it is the SF. Like in the laning phase, Moon Meander was doing a really good job of just keeping the Brood at bay. And his tower has taken almost no damage, which is even better. And now that the SF is level 7 and the tier 1 is still alive, he can just go for double raises and just kill the tower. SF
needs to be careful here. There's a fair few on the side of NaVi ready to fight. TP's coming in and charge onto Sneko as well. Let's see how this one goes down. Z-Freak moving in on Snako. Here we go with the charge with the bash, and that's going to be Snako falling. Teddy zips himself away. And the rest of NaVi simply dispersed. Not want to lose anything more than that bounty. And off the back of this complexity, they've got the full 5-man here. They're going to go for tier 2 as well. Not as a full 5. Top lane, Z-Freak will go. And with the Iron Shell on him as well, he might just try here for a solo kill onto Vorst. He has a Never Strike. He's going to need the bashes for the Rocket Barrage. Let's see how this pans off. There we go, the Never Strike, the Iron Shell, and the finishing bash from Z-Freak. Very nicely done, nicely calculated, and he gets away with the solo kill.
Nicely calculated. You mean nice 17%. That's what you mean.
Mid lane, Fiend Script straight up on ZZ, and he's got no backup. He's got no backup, he's got no friends, and he's going down. Snako sitting by the tower. Melon's chipping away. Fortification will come out from NaVi. Artstyle is on his way round. I don't think they can stop this. The damage is pretty damn hefty here from this Shadow Fiend at this point. 13 minutes in, the tier 2 will go down. Snako gets himself the deny. Now can Artstyle, Dendy and Snako catch anyone off the back of this? Moving forward, Funnick is there as well. He's got a fair few spies. The wall and the vacuum, very nice, catching out all 3 Swindlers with the Raccoon coming out as well. They're looking for Snako. He's going to be charged upon as well. Fly chasing down here with the slope of the burn. Now with the raises, Artstyle getting low for a couple more punches. Will do it. They'll bring down the Bane. Mecha's been popped as well. They're trying to look for more. Of course, have turned up the fight with the cooldown, only catching Moon and Meander. And still, is Snako trapped up? There comes the charge. Sentry gets dropped, raises in the bashes, bring down the bounty hunter. 2 kills for complexity. They did get the tier 2. 14 minutes in, looking very good for the Americans.
I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the way that complexity have been playing this. Like Z-Freak, he's been everywhere that he needs to be. He's 1400 gold right now. He's got his earn charges, he's got his boots. He's almost level 9 actually. And they're just continually forcing it. Like, they're not letting NaVi sit back. And the nice thing, too, is they've actually killed the Brood's lane. Like, the Brood no longer has a tier 2 tower. And she has yet to take even a tier 1 at 15 minutes in, almost. So, I'm kind of concerned that this Brood pick might not be able to deliver enough. Like, Funnick, he's still got Midas, he's still got Treads. It's very common for Broods to go like Desolator, BKB at this point, and just try to push, but what the heroes of complexity have in the mid game, they actually can deal with the Spiderlings quite easily. You either have Spin, you have Iron Shell, you have Raises. So I'm not sure how much influence Funnick is going to be able to have here.
There's a lot of money on the Swindlemelon's SF at the moment, 2.9k around the corner. I mean, what does he go for himself? Obviously the mech's already been picked up by Moomiander here on this Darkseer, so what do you go straight for? Z4.
Oh, they found him.
They found him. With the flying vision from that round, and Z3 diving a little bit too deep. NaVi will say thank you. Thank you for the free space gal. And get themselves a pretty tasty kill there as well. You don't want to go as deep as that, as this spaceman. Mid lane. NaVi moving in Snako. He has now got level 6, has that track potential as well. And there's been so many games that we have seen in this kind of situation where a bounty hunter has been able to help turn it back round is the favour. See what goes on here onto Moomiander, trying to surge himself away, but hit Dendy with the zip in. There's going to be the mech buying Moon sometime, and it looks like he's going to live. NaVi a little bit careful about chasing that down too far. Dark's able to get himself out. ZZ moving in, has got the Omni Slash available. They've found Funnick and Fly with the Winter Skirt, holding the spider in place, blows him up with the help of the raises from Swindle. And Broodmother will fall.
I'm kind of surprised Funnick was even over there. Like, he saw them fighting inside of the woods, and you have to expect the complexity is going to be there, you know? He could have just been hitting the tier 1 this whole time, and at the very least forced complexity to split apart, but I gotta say, Funnick is having a pretty uncharacteristic off-game. Like, he fed a lot of spiders in lane. He's making some pretty weird decisions in terms of where he is. I'm not entirely sure if Complexity are going to be able to get away with this Roche, but for the time being, how much mana does Dendy have? Okay, he's full mana. But it actually dies too fast, so they will be able to get this Roche in. They're going to give it to Ziz, they're going to give it to Melons. Okay, there we go. So it is going to be on the SF. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like NaVi are like playing that well this game. Like last game, I feel like up until around the 25-30 minute mark, they were doing everything they needed to do. They had a clear directive. It's like, okay, we need to push. But this game, it just feels kind of all over the place.
He's certainly slipping away from them at the moment, coming up to 5k difference in terms of net worth, and XP-wise, a very similar story. But, well, we'll see what that track gold can do. As I said, it's all about the track gold here. If they're able to find a couple of kills, they could very easily close that gap and get themselves back on top NaVi, but for the time being, Complexity are going to be the ones very, very happy with how this game is going so far. Still top of the net worth, we do have Swinnermillers here on the SF, having a much better game this game than he did in game 1. We saw him on the Lena, not having a grand old time, was picked off quite a lot, but this time, now just 17.5 minutes in with the S and Y on top of the Aquila and Treads. Fairly tanky, and got a fair bit of punch behind him as well. Gonna smoke up now and look for some action. Charge onto Hardstyle. In a lot of trouble this Bane. Not a lot he can do. Will nightmare out Swinnermillers, but you can't nightmare out the entirety of the rest of the team. He's gonna get taken down. And another kill now for Complexity.
I'm not really sure what NaVi are meant to do right now. Like, Funnick's still. Like, he's not able to pressure that hard, and Moon is still in the area. The thing is, in a 4v4, even without their mech carrier, Complexity I still feel are stronger.
Funnick could be in trouble. I mean, we've got a charge coming in. He does have Dust. Z-Freak with another trike as well. There's no tier 2 for any backup to come in for Funnick. The wall's going to get dropped now with the Vacuum and the Iron Shell as well. Funnick will fall on Moon Meander and Z-Freak working perfectly together. Mid lane indeed. Winter's Curse into Snake. Snake going to pull Deja Requiem. No, just in time. The pull coming out from Denny now with the Fiend's Grip. But the cold embrace spiked up. Now the Omni Clap. It's massive. Takes down one. Dendy's low. He'll fall as well with the charge from Z-Freak. Now, Complexity turn their attention towards the force. They're chasing this one down. They should be able to find it. There's 3 of them after this. Z-Freak will have a charge in a few seconds. Of course, trying to juke this one out, but the Wards gets popped down. He's looking for the TP out, but there's the charge. There we go. Her forced to fall as well. NaVi are back to the fountain.
How long were you waiting to say that, Owen? I need to know how long you were waiting to say that. Alright, but obviously Complexity, they're just running them over. I don't really know what else to say. It's just Complexity are straight up outplaying in every single sense. I actually liked NaVi's draft quite a bit. I thought the Brood matchup versus Darkseer, you know, we kind of expected that would happen, but I didn't expect it to be so one-sided. Like, in those situations, you can kind of outplay, I think, as the Brood and still manage to get a decent amount out of your lane. And sure, Funnick has good farm, but that tier 1 hasn't even dropped a half HP. Complexity have done an amazing job at making sure that there is just not an inch given to this Broodmother. And when you have a hero that's picked for the sole purpose of creating space, and it doesn't really do much, and in fact, it might just do the opposite, because even NaVi were trying to prioritize bringing heroes down to bottom lane to help out the Brood because they realized the lane was going bad, it kind of has the reverse effect. So now, NaVi definitely on the back foot. They're looking for something here.
And they're going for Flight. Tries to get up the corner breach just in time. The corner coming down there is going to be a lot of magical damage and will be enough to bring down the white man. ZZ just looks for the spin and the TP. Will he be able to get himself out? Yes! Just managing to escape. Z-Freak will be able to charge himself away. Moon's got the surge, and Complexity are out of there. Oh!
Oh, that sure
the bounce!
That was almost like the best thing I've ever seen. Almost.
Dire's middle tower
that was close indeed. But, well, as you said, the difference just growing bigger and bigger. We're at a 10,000 net worth lead and over 10k in terms of XP as well. Complexity. I don't know what they have for breakfast, but it was certainly doing something to them.
Yeah, I'm really impressed overall. Like, a lot of people coming into TI said that, you know, NaVi, obviously, they had to come through the qualifiers, right? But they still proved that they should be here. And then Complexity, they're the team that came through the wild card. Or no, excuse me, they are also qualified, right? So, yeah, I don't know what to say. It's like the improvement of Complexity over the last couple of months has been pretty insane.
Oh, Vorst. Is Z-Freak going to go for this one? I think he just might. Oh, he holds back at the last moment. Not wanting to dive too deep. Doesn't want to throw anything away at this point, especially with the lead that Complexity have got. There's no reason to go for plays that ballsy. They just want to try and get these pushes on, try and take down this final tier 2 here. Gained pretty much complete map control. And as you said, bottom lane, Funnick's still trying to work away at this tier 1, but it is a little bit of an issue here for the Brood. 21 minutes in, and still yet able to take down a tower. It's certainly not working out as I'd imagine NaVi would have planned. They're going to lose this tier 2 here on the top lane as Complexity clear out the final one from the side of the map of NaVi.
Yeah, Moon just comes in the meantime and just cleans up all the spiders. With the Aegis going down, it's like, okay, we can't go high ground yet, but at the very least, we know that we have full map control. Like, we've taken all the outer tier towers and only lost the tier 1 mid. Funnick now is going all in for this.
He's going to get it. TP coming in as a charge as well. NaVi want to fight though. ZZ moving in now with the Omni Slash onto her force. The wall's been dropped as well. It's pretty innocent. There's a Fiend Scoop onto Mimianta Moon. It's going to go down now. Dendy turning up the pot as well. ZZ with a Blade Fury. Fighting back to 1-for-1. Here's Z-Freak with the charge. Bastions onto everyone. They get the Winter's Curse up onto Dendy. This is massive. Dendy to fall. Funnick's going to die as well. It's a double kill for ZZ. They did lose the Juggernaut. Tanaka getting chased out. Swindle Melons. He cleans up Bane on the sidelines. Taneko's the last one alive. The Splinter Blast kills him. Double kill for Fly. NaVi are all to drop, and Complexity again coming out massively on top.
So I guess it's safe to say that they were ready for that, right? They come in, they're going all in for the tier 1. Everyone from NaVi was there. And I feel like Complexity just anticipated that perfectly. Everyone was where they needed to be in a team fight. Sure, you lose your Juggernaut, but you kill their entire team. Well worth if you're a Complexity fan. And they continue to impress here in game number 2. We could be looking at the second series that I've seen Complexity play where they end up 2-0ing another team.
That's going to put them in very good stead in the group stages when we look at the overall group rankings. I mean, as you said, Complexity certainly kind of it's a turn up for the bookies. A lot of people maybe not expecting this kind of performance, but these guys proving that you need to watch them. You need to check these guys out. We're going to be following them again with the second series of the day as well. So if you're watching this stream, do not go anywhere after this match, because we're going to be seeing Complexity versus IG.
Yeah.
But at the moment, at this time being, NaVi going to need quite something to turn this one around. And Z-Freak, well, he's going to go in straight away with the charge onto Funnick. He wants to start a fight. Let's see if he comes out top of this one. He's got an Natus strike. He's got the back of a Swindle and Flyer. Horse turning up, trying to do what he can. Funnick with a life steal. Actually able to keep himself alive. They have lost Taneko, but on the side of Complexity, they've lost one. But the vacuum and the Requiem blowing up NaVi. 4 heroes down. It's going to be the third T1 of the game as Artstyle falls as well. NaVi getting absolutely crushed. Buybacks coming out from Taneko and Artstyle. Fortification comes out. Funnick returns to the pitch. Force does not have buyback for 30 seconds. There's a buyback available on Dendy. But the pressure coming up onto the tier 3. What can they do to stop this? Nightmare comes out with ZZ. He's got an Omni Slash and the Winter's Curse. Blade Fury to bring down Artstyle. Taneko has to get himself the hell out of there. There's a buyback, a dieback in fact, from Artstyle. Dendy's still holding on to his buyback here. Meander, ZZ and Fly continue to push this tower. The tracks are getting thrown out. And actually going to back up now. Complexity still just perfectly holding on to the game. They don't want to go too hard. They don't want to go too ham. And they seem to know their limits every time.
I'm really happy to see them actually just back there. Like, the damage is dealt, right? They kill their entire team. They force 2 buybacks. They know Roshan's going to be up pretty soon. There's actually no reason at all to force the issue and end up giving away too much. I think that discipline like that is what kind of separates like tier 1 teams from even like tier 2 or tier 3 teams, is knowing, is the risk really worth us just trying to push into this Rax? And in this case, the obvious answer is no. But when you're in-game, it's very hard to make that decision, right? Like, it's just saying, oh, it's so tempting to try to go to that high ground push and just try to end the game right then and there, like take the Rax, maybe NaVi tap out, who knows. But for now, Complexity, as you said, they maintain their hold on this game. And it's only 25 minutes in. I'll be honest, it does not seem like a 25-minute game. Like, the amount of farm that Complexity has right now, like BKB, SMY up on your Shadow Fiend, he's got another almost 1,000 gold.
Nah, is he going to go for this?
He's got the Shadow Blade.
Nah,
okay, no, he's not.
Okay, no. Not with the TP back to base from her Vortex.
That's pretty YOLO, you know.
But yeah, so far Z-Freak's performance on the Spirit Breaker has been absolutely impeccable. And Wyvern as well. I was going to say, Fly's Wyvern. We were talking about the Taneko Wyvern. Fly, I think he's proven he can do it just as well. 8 kills on the man, 14 assists, he's only died twice. And overall, Complexity's just play as a team has been amazing.
Yeah, I gotta say that this... I don't know if it's NaVi just kind of fumbling in Game 2. Game 1, they definitely seemed to play a bit better. Like, even though they ended up losing, I think it was a game that's more understandable to lose because high ground pushes are probably the hardest thing to do. And make sure, like, you execute them properly. That's definitely a test in every single game, is can we breach the high ground? And to lose a game because of your inability to do it is probably, I think, one of the most common ways to lose. But in this game, even in the lanes, and just in the early, like, first 10 minutes, outside of Dendy, their top and bottom lane were losing. Like, that tri-lane top from Complexity totally shut down Havost in his early farm. The fact that he's even able to have, like, what he has now is still kind of impressive, given the amount of pressure that Complexity has been applying. But outside of that, like, they never killed the tier 1 off lane. They barely killed the tier 1 bottom, and when they did, they got wiped for it. And now Complexity, feeling very confident here, they're going to be going in for another Roshan.
Does Dendy go for the play here? Does he look for potential Aegis still? It would be incredibly...
I think you have to go for it.
Is he going to try it?
Oh no, Fly scouting. He can't.
He's going.
He can.
Oh, he went in a bit early here. Now he's going to get caught out. Dendy throws away his life going in too early. Aegis is going to be claimed by SF.
Okay, so Fly actually cast Curse on Roshan, by the way. He misclicked, because you saw the Lincoln's proc on Roshan, right? He actually misclicked it, but the charge from Z-Freak still ended up getting him killed. So either way, like he wanted to go for it because he realizes how far behind they are, and sometimes you have to make those choices. You have to go for an all-in, as Winter would say when he was sitting on the couch early this morning during the pre-show. Sometimes those choices just have to be made, so you can't blame him for doing it. It was just unfortunate that Complexity were very ready for it.
And here we go with the push. Bottom lane, Complexity going in. NaVi kind of looking for a bit of a push of their own. Seneko, Clinic, and Horse moving in on this top lane. And on to Moon. Complexity is going to go. Yeah, it's easy there with the Blade Fury and the toggle off of the Nightmare. Very nicely done. Now going back in, ZZ has got an Omni Slash. Not going to need to use it here. A couple of crits start will fall. Still the pressure here on this top lane. Z-Freak, he's defending this up with Fly. And they're not going to kill Broodmother here. So 2 heroes down for NaVi, neither with buyback available. Still on cooldown for Funny Kill on the Brood, and Artstyle likewise. That's when Melons is easy moving towards the middle lane. They were able to take the melee racks from the bottom. Now there's going to be a charge coming in from Z-Freak as well. Horse drops down the cooldown. ZZ just stands there with the Blade Fury, keeps hitting away. Dendy needs to be careful. There's a charge incoming. It's on its way. Dendy's trying to pull ZZ in. Now comes the Omni Slash out, bouncing around. Dendy getting low, has to go back to the base. Shuriken will cancel the charge there from Z-Freak, but he's just creating space here for Complexity to go back to the melee racks. And this is going to be a second set of melee racks down on the side of NaVi, 28 minutes into the match.
What else can we say? Like, Complexity, like you mentioned, I don't know what they ate this morning, but they're definitely bringing their A-game here today, and they're going to need it, especially after playing NaVi. They're going to have to go up against IG, like you mentioned. And if they're on form like this, I'm really curious to see how well they do against one of the Titans in China, right? Like, IG is known to have been one of the best teams for however many years as the Dota's been around, basically. I mean, I don't want to count NaVi out 100%, but I'm really having a hard time seeing how they're actually going to overcome this deficit. Like, it's 20,000 golden experience now. It's 33-11, your 2 racks is down, like 1 set and 1 extra melee. And you still have to work through tier 2s. They tried to go for a split push play in top because they realized that taking a 5 versus 5 is probably not going to work. But how many more opportunities are you going to get to do that? Like, how much more are you going to be able to rat? And even if you can, their team really doesn't do that much damage to base. Funnick had to go back for BKB just because of how pressured he was in this game. Like, normally you'd see him go Deso in BKB and maybe skip the Medallion, but in this game he had to go Medallion because he just wasn't getting enough farm. So everything for Complexity is pretty much just... it's functioned perfectly.
And here we go, Complexity, they're ready to try and push the funnel set. Swindle has got that AC on him now as well, so the push is going to be even more scarier. Moving forward, Fly here with the burn, getting that vision, still holding on to that Winter's Curse. Yeah, he's ready to go as soon as NaVi throw anyone forward. Fortification has been expended and the tier 3 is going to drop at an incredible rate. Her Force, he's trying to do what he can, has an SMY, has a Demon Edge on top of the face and drones, but it's just not enough damage, especially with the Crimson Guard. Fiend's Grip onto Swindle Melons, but the entirety of Complexity's there, and the Fiend's Grip, it just doesn't mean anything. Complexity just sit there, he goes back to hitting the damn tower. But then pops the BKB trying to find out Fly with the Golden Break, but Z-Freak charging onto Dendy. Dendy getting bashed down. That's going to be your Storm Spirit dead without buyback once again. Vernick trying to do what he can, but he's got to run. GG, well played, is called, and Complexity take the series 2-0 against NaVi. I
gotta say, I am thoroughly... I'm not only impressed, but I'm surprised.
I mean, we were talking about it before. I think I opened up the odds and it was something like 19% Complexity. I was like, I think that's unfair. I think Complexity deserve way more than that. You said 70-30, which I would have probably agreed with, but after this, I think people will be respecting Complexity a lot more. This was a fantastic series for them.
The way they played this out, the way they adjusted their lanes, like after having picked the Darkseer, okay, on paper it makes sense. We want to put the Brood and the Darkseer matchup together if we're